Thank you, Dan. Not all commercial fishermen troll the high seas for their catch. First Business correspondent Bruce Page visited one of the oldest fish farms in the country, which today doubles as a popular tourist spot in Whitewater, California.
You'd be tempted to call this Fisherman's Paradise, but then again, Rainbow Rancho is too good to be true. The chances of not catching a fish here are about 1,000,000 to 1, and most anglers prefer at least some contest. But for those who don't, well, this is heaven. That's because beyond the public facilities for more than half a century, this has been an aquaculture farmer's field of streams.
Trout farming as a business in America has its origins back in Ohio about 150 years ago. This one just north of Palm Springs is somewhat unique in that the Shearer family has developed self-cleaning circular pools instead of long raceways.
As common as that may be today in other fish farms, it wasn't when John Shearer came up with the idea decades ago, doubling his capacity, minimizing contamination.
The water comes around and circulates, which means the fish are spread out and they're swimming in a current. Then the water passes underneath the aeration device several times and adds more oxygen. And as it circulates, any of the excreta or trash or anything goes out the bottom and goes out, see?
From this locale, Rainbow Rancho now provides more than 800,000 pounds of trout every year to surrounding lakes and recreational areas. Such a unique and challenging business takes dedicated people to run it day in and day out, year after year.
25 years ago, I chose to come back and manage this versus doing something else with a college education. So sure, you have to love the business. You have to like to be your own boss and make your own decisions and suffer through the crisis and laugh when you can and cry when you can't. So yeah, I love the business.
Much as he loves it, after 50 years, the family now feels it's time to sell and retire. So the future of this happy hunting ground is uncertain. But then, no loss, sports purists would say, for this isn't really fishing.
I'd have to agree, actually. But it's fun.
And tasty. In Whitewater, California, Bruce Page, First Business.
And that's it for First Business Monday. I'm Barton Eckert. Have a great day and join us again first thing tomorrow morning for First Business Tuesday. Across America, vending machines have helped many become self-employed small businessmen and women. The yogurt craze created a need for portable machines for parties, and that in turn led to frozen drink machines. As First Business correspondent Bruce Page reports from Los Angeles, once again, small machines are providing a way out of corporate life for the next generation of entrepreneurs.
Even on college campuses where students aren't flush with cash, party time is no longer just roll out the barrel time. It's wheel in the margarita machine and pour it out like yogurt. It's music to the ears of small businesses like this one, springing up in Texas and California to cater to the growing demand. But wait a minute, that's an attorney behind the wheel who had a big business career all sewn up. Why would he leave all that for this?
At least I'm controlling my own destiny, and the nice thing about running your own company is every day it's something different. It may be marketing, it may be accounting, it may be past due accounts, a machine may have broken, but at least it's something different every day. Although I did enjoy being an attorney a great deal, it's pretty exciting running your own show.
Consider the equation that prompted Weinberg to give up his law practice for this. Reasonable cost for very efficient frozen margarita machines. Nobody else in this marketplace has competition, and Southern California's thirst for his frozen concoctions. There's another reason, though. After years of improvements, refinements, and downsizing of the machines, a minivan can now transport 7 portable dispensers, reducing it to a one-man job. At $165 per party rental for each machine on a good day, better than $1,000 gross. Mixes included for hundreds of margaritas. Alcohol left to the customer to provide as desired. In Los Angeles, Bruce Page, First Business.
And that's it for First Business Friday. I'm Barton Eckert. Have a great weekend. And July 29th, Delta. With Californians now facing a $14 billion budget deficit, the largest in the history of any state in the union, critics are saying the state budget is a fiscal time bomb. But looming on the horizon is an even greater challenge to the Golden State's economic well-being. Fundamental questions of fairness as guaranteed by the United States Constitution. From Los Angeles, First Business correspondent Bruce Page has more on the story.
Within 90 days, the highest court in the land will decide whether it will hear a case from a California homeowner. The issue, property taxes. The challenger, Stephanie Nordlinger.
Well, I found that my property taxes were approximately 5 times those of my neighbors. I mean, I pay approximately the same amount of property tax as a $2 million house in Malibu, and my house is worth roughly $200,000, and that isn't fair.
Perhaps nowhere else in the nation have property values escalated as in California after the mid-1970s, when it was not uncommon for homeowners to be hit with as much as 100% increases every 1 or 2 years in their property taxes. Proposition 13 struck a responsive chord.
It was Howard Jarvis who rallied state voters to a totally unexpected 2/3 approval of Prop 13. What it delivered was a cap on all property taxes of 1% of the assessed value in 1975. Assessments were limited to no more than a 2% a year increase until a change of ownership. At point of sale then, a property's tax could easily quadruple, now based on 1991 value. If there's inequity felt by some homeowners, there is by business too. Macy's department store in one location sued because it had to pay triple property taxes of competitors. But the threat of a consumer boycott compelled management to drop the suit after the Supreme Court agreed to hear it.
The point is, businesses are in the crosshairs, and they know it. They would be probably the very first victim of 13. I'm really concerned about small business. They're on the edge. They have small profit margins. If they are socked with a new property tax, a huge increased property tax, then they could go out of business, and that's the big fear.
There's high expectation Nordlinger's case will be heard, but overturning Prop 13 could be the flicker to spark a nationwide conflagration, according to noted political scientist Fred Ballitzer.
Americans don't mind paying taxes for government. What they don't like is the fact that they think they get nothing from government. And when government proposes new taxes, people scratch their heads and say, gee, I'm not getting much now. How much less am I going to get with these new taxes? I think what we're doing is preparing the ground for another great tax revolt, which is going to make Jarvis-Gann look small by comparison.
By October, Californians will know if the Supreme Court will consider the Prop 13 challenge. If yes, a ruling would not emerge before early next year. In Los Angeles, Bruce Page, First Business.
There's another